Good afternoon. I have the honor here with what's your name again?
Danny Weiss.
Danny Weiss. What I know his claim to fame is he the authored the Kitzer Shulchan Aruch for the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, correct? Is that the right description?
The Rebbe gave it a name. I originally called it Shulchan HaSholim. The Rebbe said I should change it to Shulchan Aruch Hakotzer, and that's the name it has.
And how many were printed?
100,000.
100,000 sold.
Over the first two prints.
How
There
long?
have been several printings since.
How
They
long?
called it posthumous. I went into a store in Yerushalayim, and I saw an interesting printing of the book, and I said, "Who printed this?" He said, "I don't know. The author passed. He died already like 20 years ago." Interesting.
So people are still printing.
I pinched myself.
So people are still printing it. How long did it take you to write?
I finished the first in Memhei.
And you did the whole thing?
Yeah, I finished the first like the Arba Chalke was a 6-volume, and Isaac Omener just passed by here. He was my typist because this was BC. This was 1985 BC, which was before computers. And there was just like these word processors. Isaac Omener at the time was at Lahak, who was able to type like 3,000 words a second, and and I gave it to Rav Hirschsprung, Rav Dvorkin, and others, and they encouraged me very much. And I went around, and so with someone else, some other very nice friends, older people who were more in the rabbinical establishment, who took it around, and they encouraged me. They said you should really print it. So I spent another couple of years locking myself in libraries, in the JTS, in all places all over the world. There was someone in Williamsburg, in Cohen, who had like 100,000 volumes old. I spent several years just making sure, thoroughly researched, and I put out the first volume, and then the Rebbe called Shulchan HaSholim. The Rebbe said I should change the name to Shulchan Hakotzer, which I did. Label told me that the Rebbe had it on his desk. I gave it to him on Chol Moed Sukkos, right after Chol Moed Sukkos. He kept it on his desk until Pesach. And then after Pesach, he asked for it back. And then when I switched it to Shulchan Aruch HaSholim, Shulchan Aruch Hakotzer, he sent Beryl. Beryl just told me the story now again. He said it to everyone in the group. And he sent back the old one, and he asked for the new volume. The Rebbe liked halacha, and the Rebbe once wrote me on the Garam Harbe Nachas Ruach and underlined it 3 times. He said the Rebbe liked it very much, and encouraged me I should publish the other 4, which the first volume was published. I couldn't find them because I couldn't find the manuscripts for the last 4 volumes, and I just found them. My sister moved to Israel 2 years ago. She found them in the basement, and David Oladart found Hilchas Shabbos in Efrat. So now we're going to work on it and publish them all again, so people like you can enjoy yourself.
Which publishing house? Or self-publish? Are you going to self-publish it?
Penguin. Because the black and white, because it looks like, you just put a black hat on them and it's a penguin. A yarmulke.
Now you write plays?
Well, I write narrative. I try to write human expression, whether it's halacha, which is our ritual way of connecting to our neshamas and our heritage and the world, or our way of getting along. It's all in the Gemara. It's the same thing.
Any famous plays you wrote on Broadway, or not yet?
I have to ask the populace if it's famous or not.
Are they on Broadway, or all off Broadway, or off Broadway?
I don't recognize that monopoly on things, but they've been on Broadway, off Broadway, and all over the world.
So what's the most sold tickets of something that you wrote? Which play?
The most sold tickets I ever had anywhere was a Shulchan Aruch Hakotzer, 100,000.
No, I'm talking about your plays that you wrote.
The one I'm writing now, the one that's coming out.
The one that's gonna come.
It's gonna be the most sold ever.
So you're saying, are you more famous for your Shulchan Hakotzer or your playwrights?
All I can say is I was very, very happy to come here and see that my nephew introduced you to me, and it's very touching to go around the world and see that people are still reading this, in spite of the fact that I guess people, they need to, there needs to be some kind of uniform or some kind of qualification of who I am and what I am, so people can judge me. They don't know me. They can judge me. That's up to them.
Well,
I encourage them, if they don't like me, who I am as a person, if they don't know me, probably they're right. And therefore, I encourage them to write their own svarim. Yagdil Torah v'Yadir.
I think after this video, people will get to know you a little better, right?
Listen. They're knowing me through my words. It's the Rebbe would always say, the Friedrich Rebbe. And many people said, authors in many different disciplines. You want to connect to me, read my svarim. So people are connected to me. They get to know me, and they think they want to know so much. But I can tell you, Kina Seifrim Tar B'Chochma. So if people have Kina, they should be Mar B'Chochma.